FBI agent!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fine episode of Movie LaBeoufs. I'm Todd.
I'm Owen.
Today we're going to be looking at a little bit of an action flick here.
Yeah, this week we watched the movie Nobody.
Nobody? Who's in that one? Nobody. Nah, nobody good.
Yeah, Nobody stars Bob Odenkirk, Aleksey Serebryakov, Christopher Lloyd. There's also Connie Nielsen, who plays his wife, Riza, who plays his bro, and Michael Ironside.
Michael Ironside.
Yeah, lots to talk about there. It was directed by Ilya Neishler and written by Derek Kolstad. Todd, do you want to tell us what Nobody is all about? Now, this might be, there might be too much to unpack here. This is a very complicated story, but...
Oh yeah, the level of complexity to this thing is just through the roof here. Yeah, so Nobody, essentially, as you pointed out, stars Bob Odenkirk. Bob Odenkirk plays a suburban dad who seems to be a little stuck in his routine and seems to have somewhat of a dark past, maybe, perhaps, something going on there. And we find him in a situation where he has to basically shoot it out, duke it out, and kind of save the day. It's not really. It's you basically kind of know what you're getting when you watch this.
Yeah, so an government military covert person basically goes on a shooting rampage after he's retired, when his family becomes in danger.
Yes.
So, and that's all there is to it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So there's Russian.
Yeah, there seems to always be Russians.
If it's a U.S. government thing, it's always Russians. Yeah.
Now this was done by the same guys who did John Wick, right? So.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
So it has a lot of those elements to it.
Yeah, Derek Kolstad, who wrote this movie, wrote John Wick, all the John Wicks, and I just saw also there's 5 in production.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
There's gonna be 5 total. I mean, there's 2 in production.
Because there's already 3, right?
Yeah.
I watched the first one. Okay, that was a good. Okay.
So my joke about this movie was gonna be, I'm not saying it's a clever joke, but my joke was gonna be, I was gonna say, how'd you like John Wick 4? But that was before I found out that it was the same writer. So.
Well, I believe I tweeted out too. It's just John Wick for cat people.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Which kind of I remember the trailer. We both don't really watch trailers, but this is a movie that's kind of been pushed down our throats. Would you say so? I've seen ads for this everywhere. And that's one thing, is the cat was on all those ads, but it wasn't really part of the movie at all.
I mean,
is it a nod to John Wick?
I think that's what they're trying to do.
I think there's a couple nods to John Wick in here.
And I could be wrong here. I think it might take place in the same universe.
That's an interesting,
I wouldn't put it past them tying both movies in together.
It's true, because it does have that kind of 90s premise, was one of my notes, where it's the Ob Shack, I think they call it, all the Russian money.
Yes.
That's a very 90s premise thing, James Bondy type thing, where they're there's this warehouse with all this money that all the Russians can use.
It's the same basic plot that they use throughout. It's either nuclear weapons, mob money, guns. It's
very similar to John Wick. But so the director Ilya Neishler is the guy who did Hardcore Henry. Actually,
I don't think I've seen Hardcore Henry.
Oh, really?
No,
it's good. It's the movie where it's filmed with a GoPro. And so it's all first person.
All first person. Yeah, I have seen a trailer for that.
It's like a John Wick type movie, but first person. I believe it came out before John Wick.
Yeah, because there's a couple of those. I think there's another one coming out. I just saw. There's another one in that vein coming out.
I was thinking there was more too, but I only saw him do the first one on his IMDb, and he wrote and directed both. And this is only his second big picture movie.
Really?
So pretty interesting, because if I were to guess when Hardcore Henry came out, it was 2008 to 2000.
Yeah, I remember that around that time. Yeah, and it was the parkour one kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I remember this now.
So, and he doesn't do another movie until 2021, I guess this came out. Nobody came out, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a big gap. Bob Odenkirk, we talked a little bit about Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. He's probably most known for, but
yeah,
he's
Mr. Show.
Yeah, he's Mr. Show. He's a comedy actor, is what I was going to say. So it's a very weird role to see him in.
I think we're starting to see him because of, like, you know, how he took on serious roles in, like, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. You know, with Better Call Saul, like, I think the last season of that coming out.
Right.
I think he's trying to, like, bridge the gap into maybe doing more, like,
now, does he
movies.
want to, or do people want him to?
I mean, I wasn't opposed when I saw him. Like, I wasn't opposed to it when I saw him in this role. I was like, okay, you know what?
Well, I was.
Really?
Yes.
You didn't see him in this role?
It's stupid. Like a dad that has to, you know, fight crime type of thing.
I mean, it's been done to death. Like, yeah, this story has been done. Like, it's been done.
It's just not too believable for me seeing him in there. And he's an amazing actor. Don't get me wrong. He's so good in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. And, you know, he's been in a million things. He's a pro. But, I don't know. It's just strange. It's a little hard to believe.
Maybe they're trying to grab, like, maybe they're going after, like, the Breaking Bad demographic. That's probably, like, you know, the people who are into those kind of movies. Like, you know, like, maybe, like...
It could be. Actually, so I don't know chronologically how this fits in, but apparently the story for this movie was based on something that happened to Bob Odenkirk. So...
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get you to elaborate on that.
So he used to be a CIA no.
Oh, God.
No, but actually he had a home invasion. Somebody broke into his home and he locked them into the basement somehow. And then the cops came and everything was fine. But he was...
Are you sure that wasn't just one of those cut scenes, like, you know, at the beginning of Better Call Saul, at the beginning where he sees it's like in black and white?
That could have been one of those. Yeah, one of the present day
the
scenes.
present day scenes. Where he's got the mustache, he's working at the Cinnabon place.
Yeah, it wasn't his basement, it was the Cinnabon.
The Cinnabon, yeah.
Oh, damn it, I'm confusing them. No, but yeah, apparently this really did happen, and the idea came from him being mad at how the police handled it, and him thinking, man, if I was more badass, what I would have done, type of thing. So
I'm sorry. Oh my God. I can just see him sitting there like, oh, never gonna fucking happen again.
Yeah, so it is kind of a self-gratifying type of movie or story thing. Like,
I mean, it does have that scene at the beginning where, like, he gets the shit beat out of him by the robbers because he obviously doesn't do anything because he's like, I could murk these fuckers if I wanted to.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, and the kid's just sitting there looking at his dad like, you pussy.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of where that stems from. Maybe he wasn't able to, like, he felt like helpless kind of thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you can probably see that.
Because he got, like, looks like he got in fucking shape to do this.
Apparently he worked out and trained for 2 years.
Because he's what, like in his 60s? Almost, he's got to be close to 60.
Got to be, yeah.
Yeah, and he looks good for how old he is.
Oh, is Mr. Show the 90s?
Yeah, that's like early 90s.
Yeah.
And even, like, if you want to look back at, like, when he first started on Breaking Bad, too. Like, obviously, he's in other shit, too, leading up to that. But, like, even when that's, like, 2007, 8?
Something like that,
yeah. So that's still, like, fucking, like, think about it, like, 12 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So he's done well for himself playing that Saul role, I guess. Like, so maybe this is something else that he can take a crack at.
I mean, like you said, it's kind of like, especially if it ties into the John Wick world, there's like...
You know it's gonna.
Well, you know there's gonna be fucking sequels, is what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So there's gonna be four Bob Odenkirk action movies now.
Do you think that they would change the titles, like, Somebody?
Oh my God, Todd. I think they won't, but they should.
Somebody.
It's like that thing with remember Now You See Me movie?
Oh, Now You See Me too.
Now You See Me too, instead of Now You Don't.
Yeah, why the fuck would you miss that?
Big missed opportunity.
Yeah, you can't miss on those opportunities. Like, you know, like I said before, you're missing out on 103D Dalmatians. God damn it. You had 101, 102, and it was right at the height of 3D, and you couldn't pump out 103D. Like, those movies always make money.
I thought there was a 103D Dalmatians.
No, there isn't, and I'm shocked.
See, now it's like the Mandela effect working in, where I think this has happened.
What's another one that I want to see? Oh, Ratatouille with the two.
Oh, yeah, did they not do that either?
Well, I would assume they are.
I felt like there was a sequel, but yeah, definitely should do a Ratatouille.
I could see them doing that.
I mean, they did Too Fast, Too Furious, which doesn't even really fit. But they tried. Even they fucking tried.
Oh, man.
Why can't anyone else try?
Oh, God, they fucking did try. Oh, those movies are so bad. Please never make me watch one of those.
Okay, I think next we're gonna do the new Fast and Furious movie.
Oh, they're Hobbs and... Actually, I watched Hobbs and Shaw. It wasn't awful. It was like...
Todd, they
watchable.
Fast and Furious 10, I think it is, or one of them. They drive a car out of a plane and into another plane.
That's badass.
Yeah.
It's like some Blues Brothers shit.
I'd believe it.
I remember being in the theaters and I saw a trailer for one of them. I was probably like 8 or 9 or whatever the fuck it was. And I remember Michelle Rodriguez dies in one of them. Like, you see her die. And then she's in the trailer and looks at Vin Diesel. She's like, what, are you surprised to see a ghost? And I was like, I yelled out in the theater. I was like, you were dead in the last one. Like, we watched, like, how?
Yes, I am surprised to see a ghost.
I'm like, what kind of writing do you think they, like, how, like, these guys aren't, like, you know, like, the most creative writers. Like, I wonder how they wrote her back into this. I gotta look into this. Like, how they wrote her back in, like, she wasn't dead, really.
I mean, I feel like those movies, they just sort of, they put them in there and be like, don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. Just move on.
And you know what? I don't think the fan base really is asking questions. They're like, is there still going to be cars? Yeah. Okay, we're good.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Are there cars where we don't really need them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Are they driving on boats?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why the fuck not? Wouldn't a plane be better in this situation? Probably. Maybe a chopper. No, let's drive. They're driving in like...
Or walk. You know, sometimes you can walk somewhere, but...
I want to see Fast and Furious 10. The transit. Just them taking transit and everywhere.
TTC.
TTC. Two TTC. Too Furious.
Different streetcars racing each other. Also in this movie we have Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, the Doc.
I didn't know he was in it, so that was pretty fun to see him there. And we, of course, know Christopher Lloyd's known best for A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was going to say Uncle Fester, but...
That's true. He is Uncle Fester. Those are probably his two biggest roles. Which I was wondering, so...
Piranha 3 Double D.
Oh my god.
They
tried too.
See, that one was there for the taking.
That one, they saw, they did it, and it's perfect.
Yeah, you know, never be afraid to pick that low-hanging fruit. It's right there. Just fucking
never
take
be
it.
afraid.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, is it a nod to Back to the Future 3, the fact that Christopher Lloyd's character is watching Westerns all the time?
I mean, he's an old guy. Maybe he just likes Westerns. But maybe it could be a nod to it.
I think it probably is. I mean, this is one of those movies where they're like, everything's a fucking nod, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was a lot going on in this, and like, you know, there were scenes where like I found myself just buckling. Like I was like, oh, come on. But you know what? Like, there also are scenes where I was like, okay. I was like, you know, like, not terrible. It's
right. So how'd you feel about the movie? Did you like it? Did you dislike it?
If I was going to give this a rating, I mean, out of 10, I'd probably give it, I don't know, a 6.5, 6. I'd go 6 even. Maybe 6.5 seems a little too high. I mean, if you like action, if you like the John Wick movies, this is...
So one of my main
same
points on there, which is funny because usually you're the one, but I'm going to talk about runtime here. This is one of the shortest movies in general that I've seen in a while. It's it's an hour and 26 minutes.
Oh, yeah, it's not long.
It's not long at all. And these types of movies, the John Wick action movies, they're always 2 hours plus. They pack in as much fucking action fighting choreography, extend those scenes. And this movie doesn't. It has like 3 or 4 main action scene moment things, and then it's done.
Do you find that everything was rushed? Or
I don't know.
Do you find that it all fit in there in that runtime?
The thing is that action isn't like my genre, and I don't really like those. Like I've seen the first John Wick, I haven't seen the others. It's fine. I get why everyone likes it, but they're not really for me and stuff. I don't really like those extended fighting gun scene movies. So I liked that it was this short, and it was perfect for me. It was done in an hour and a half, less than an hour and a half. But I also had that thought, or like they could have put more in here.
I feel that they could have, but I agree with you that the time that it ran for was great for like what it was. Because I looked and I was like, oh, this happened, this happened, this happened.
Yeah,
scene, done.
Sense. Exactly. Whereas like a movie like John Wick or them will have that, but then there's like one more thing that happens, they have to go back and fix type of thing.
I remember I watched the first John Wick and I didn't mind it. I was like, okay, I get it. Like, same thing as you. And I watched the second one, and that was the problem that I had. I felt that it was like a lot of like story building for this, and I'm like, it is what it is. Like, you don't need to like make this into this like grandiose
the
like
story building
movie.
for this is very, very light.
Oh yeah, very simple.
You know, it shows him at his home. There's a home invasion. It triggers him to go off and back into the life he used to have to shoot him up. There's one little fucking thing that happens on the street that pisses him off and brings him into the story, and that's kind of it, right? The rest of the movie is just fighting those guys.
Yeah.
Until it ends.
Yeah. And obviously with him fucking shit up.
Yeah.
There's that, you know.
I guess.
We'll get into that when we get into the spoilers, but yeah.
Let's finish with the actors before we go into all that. So, Connie Nielsen, who plays Bob Odenkirk's character's wife, or should I say nobody's wife?
Nobody's wife.
That was the thing at the end of the movie, like, who are you? I'm nobody. I was like, I was waiting for it.
I think he says it at the very beginning when he's opening the cat food.
Does he?
Yeah, the detectives are like, who are you? And it pauses for a second, and I was like, I wish I was in the movie theater because I would have yelled out somebody. Because you knew it was going to be nobody. And I was like, that could have been so funny. I just want to point out, people who are movie theater funny, always the funniest people. If you see something funny, yell it out. Like, you know, even if nobody laughs, if you get one person to laugh, it's always worth it. But, especially in movies like this. Yeah. Where were we? I got sidetracked on that. But,
I was just talking
the wife. We were talking about the wife. Yeah.
Yeah, so you know her. She's from, like, she was in the Wonder Woman movies.
Yes.
Justice League. And she's a TV actor. She was in Law and Order and Good Wife. The Good Wife.
The Good Wife. Which one's that one?
That's the lawyer one.
There's so many lawyer shows on TV.
Yeah, it's like one of those, I want to say it's like Showtime. It's like mid-2000s when they're starting to get a little more like... It feels kind of like HBO-y, but it's not that.
But it's not because it's on Showtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Showtime's problem is.
And it's not that great. Like, it's a darker look at it. You know, she's got like a lot of flaws and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it's a procedural of the week show.
Oh yeah,
and I hate those courtroom dramas because it's always the lawyer that's solving all the crimes. And
it's the same fucking formula.
In what world is that? Always pisses me off.
Yeah.
Why is the lawyer being a detective? Like
you can do it all.
It's stupid. I hate that concept. But yeah, The Good Wife is. A lot of people like the show.
It was on Showtime. Showtime. We're not as good as HBO, but we're close.
But we're getting there.
We're getting there. I don't think they're getting there.
No, they're not.
They're
not
backing up now.
Yeah. So the bad guy, the Russian guy, Aleksey
Serebryakov. Yeah, I like the guy and the bad guy.
Yeah, he's
I liked him as
he's a Russian guy.
He's a Russian guy. You know, your standard I think they should have just got the guy from the Russian guy in the Michael Bay movie, the space one. Why am I freaking forgetting this?
Space one.
Yeah, the fucking Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck one.
Oh, Armageddon?
Yeah, the Russian guy in that. You should have got that guy. He always plays a bad guy.
Yeah.
That guy plays a great villain.
Let's talk about Michael Ironside for a second.
Michael Ironside, yeah.
So he plays his boss.
Yep.
So he's not in it too much, but I had a good chuckle seeing him in there.
Yeah.
Michael Ironside, of course, for anyone who doesn't know, is like, he's the major type person in Starship Troopers. He's in Total Recall, movies like that.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's
especially in Starship Troopers, but
it
doesn't have much of a role in this movie.
No, I thought that with even like the wife and stuff like that and the kid, like they don't. They're
just
there.
I guess that's the other thing. That's where they can fit in more time to this.
They're nobodies.
God. Yeah. Oh.
Who's in this movie? Nobody good.
What if that was just the promotion? All the promotion interviews for the movie. Every question they just say nobody.
You know, you got Tanner Zipchin asking them questions. It's like, what was it? It was in this.
What's this movie about?
Nobody.
Cool.
Cool. You're giving me some real good shit
guys.
right now. There's one where he keeps calling the Cineplex guy, that Tanner Zipchen guy. I was watching this interview like in the theater, like they left it in. He's interviewing Jake Johnson from New Girl about this Into the Spider-Verse movie, and he keeps calling him Nick. He's like, "What do you think, Nick?
Really?
What do you think, Nick?" And like halfway through the interview, he stops him. He's like, by the way, my name's not Nick. And he's like, oh God, I'm so sorry. And then I'm watching it, I'm like, you left this in? You made this guy look like a fucking moron. Like the whole interview, he just keeps calling him Nick.
That is weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Why would they leave that in?
And yeah, they just played it. I was waiting for the movie to start, and I was like, why would you do that? I was like, you made him just look so stupid. I know it's funny, but...
Well, we got a good laugh out of it.
No, I did anyway. I didn't get your view on it. What would you score this bad boy?
I'm thinking around the same. I would do 6.5 to 7.
Okay.
I just marked it on IMDb as 7, which could be a little high, but I didn't hate it. There was no moments where I was just like, well, I guess there were a couple. There were a couple like, why am I watching this moments, but I also don't really like these movies that much.
Hey, we're doing this for you guys.
Yeah. But, yeah, like, there were some scenes where they kind of did, like, cool fucking things that I just didn't care for, you know? Like, they were trying to attempt to be different. It was okay.
Literally, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It exists, it's fine. It doesn't piss me off. Like, it doesn't make me mad watching it.
Would you think it warrants a sequel?
I think it'll have a sequel.
Do you think there should be a sequel?
Not really. I mean, if they're going to tie it into John Wick, then I can see why there would be. So, I'll accept that for the people out there. John Wick movies, I might not like them, but so many people do, and I'm
Well, they keep
okay
making them,
with
so
that.
somebody's watching them.
Yeah, I'm okay with them. I like this movie more than John Wick, which is probably like, no one's going to say that, but...
You say that, but I'm going to agree with you on that. I liked it more than the John Wick movies. Mostly because of what you said earlier. It's to the point. It is what it is. It's an action movie.
Packing 1,000 fucking punches and...
Yeah, it just seems unnecessary. Maybe that could be also a budgetary thing, though, too?
It could, but it feels weird. Like, that's too short. I don't know. They must have cut out, like, a bunch of shit that didn't work.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they were like, okay.
What movie in general is an hour and 26 minutes?
Oh, there are some.
There are some, but not an action movie.
Oh, man. I remember I went to go see, like, just, stupid on me, right? I went to go see fucking, I think it was the 4th Underworld movie. Why? Yeah. Don't ask. I think that one came in at an hour and 10 minutes. I remember looking at my phone when it was done, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like that was the runtime?
Yeah,
like,
so I don't.
It
really
just
know
goes like action, done." And I remember sitting there like I was like, "I've never seen anything like this. Why is it so short?" And that's obviously what made it fucking a garbage movie. It was just like pay money to watch this action.
Yeah, I don't really know why that happens. I guess it is them trimming the fat and there's like...
Or maybe some of the acting's not very good and they're like, fuck it. Like, you never know.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Because they're not bringing in top cheese into like this movie. Like, like I said, Bob Odenkirk was good, but like, you're not bringing in fucking...
He was fine.
Michael Fassbender's not in this. Like, like it's not...
Yeah. Well, I guess, they're trying to make more of an everyman type thing. Even though he is has a background of being a fucking spy.
Yeah, right?
Whatever he is.
Whatever the fuck he is. Did they ever explain that?
They call him an auditor, and the line is, I'm what you call an auditor. I'm the last guy you want to see at your door. So it does have a lot of shitty, cheesy lines like that. They don't really explain it. Basically, if people have done something to wrong the government / military / CIA, whatever... And I guess he's the one that goes and fucking kills them.
Yeah, I guess.
Which is another, maybe this is why it's a John Wick universe thing, because I'm sure they don't really send assassins like the government. Maybe.
We don't know.
Yeah. Well.
We just found out there's fucking aliens a couple of years ago.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Government hiding shit?
We don't know that there's aliens.
I don't know. They came out and said there were.
Well, they have that, like, the footage of the UFO things.
Yeah, but didn't they come out and
who knows
like,
what that is?
I mean, I don't know. I think it could be real, but this is a whole other topic. But
let's talk about the movie for a bit, like the story for a bit. So it starts and he's in this montage of being a normal type guy, where he's like missing the trash. He's
punching in and he's punching
like
out.
A weak husband is kind of how they're showing it, which is something that when you finish the movie, you realize it's kind of stupid. Like, why would he carry that? I get that he's out of the game now and he's having a normal life. But there's no way in fucking hell that a guy that was like a covert agent is gonna miss the fucking garbage truck.
Yeah,
you know,
you see him running up.
He knows when that's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
You can hear it.
He can do everything else, but that's the one. I remember watching that and I was like, I understand they're trying to set him up as like a normal guy, and I was like, he wouldn't fuck that. I'm glad you noticed that.
He's like, yeah, what would you call his character? It's like, I don't want to say shitty husband, but it's kind of that like not a man type husband.
Yeah.
The catalyst in this movie is that there's a home invasion, right? And that triggers him to go on this killing rampage, which we later kind of find out isn't really justified. They weren't people coming to get him. They were just random people, right?
Yeah. So I guess we'd be kind of we'd be venturing a little bit into the spoiler territory at this point. But yeah, basically the whole premise of it is he keeps going through his whole life where he's like, you can see that he's kind of having this feeling of like, there's got to be more to this. And you kind of obviously know that he's like a CIA. We already know that.
But then his like backstory is that he sees the guy with the normal life and that's what he wants. So why would he be pissed off?
Also,
now?
Yeah, that's kind of contradictory now that I think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially what happens is he runs into he's taking the bus home, the city bus.
Yeah.
And he runs into these group of like Russian like ruffian guys who just randomly crash their car.
Random, total, doesn't relate to him at all.
At all. And they get on the bus and start bugging some girl. And obviously he does like the tough guy thing and he pretends to get off the bus and then eventually goes and like closes the bus door and he's like, you guys are all fucked now. And then obviously shit goes crazy, which I really like that fucking scene when they're on the bus. Like, I thought that was pretty badass.
I thought it was cheesy.
I thought it was. Yeah, it did have some cheese to it, but...
But the one thing that kind of pissed me off is when he sees those people and he's like, oh, thank fuck, now I get to punch somebody. It's like, relax, man. You know? And that's before they even get on the bus, right? That's before he knows, like, they're... I guess deserve to get their ass kicked.
Yeah, it kind of turns into like some America Ultra shit where he just flicks like a switch flicks and he just starts fucking shit up.
Yeah, he's like a sleeper agent.
Yeah, right.
But he's not. He's
not.
But it does kind of feel that way. But that's what I want to say about that couple that like robs him or whatever is like they're not because it kind of you see the girl's like tattoo and you start to think they're involved in this organization that is against him and it's pulling him back into the game again, like those old like 90s movies where it's like, nah, I retired, man. He's like, well, you can't retire because your main enemy is back now.
Yeah,
type of thing.
You can't get out of the game. You can't leave
the
game.
It's just this couple with a kid that's like dying and they're trying to pay for, the kid's hospital bills, basically.
So they rob him, yeah. And then he goes out and finds them.
They're just part of the game, man.
And he finds them, right? And then he decides... That's before he meets the kids, that's right. I mixed up the story there. He goes out to find those people, and he finds them, and he realizes that they were just robbing them to survive, basically.
You either play the game, or the game plays you.
Exactly. That's
what I'm saying.
Like, he played those guys on the bus. And yes, then on his way home from meeting those people... Is that how it works? Yeah, because he's on his way home on the bus.
Yeah, so why...
And then those kids get on the bus, and he's all jacked up from, like... not having done anything because he's getting... Is
that how you saw it?
I kind of did. Like, he looked like he was all pumped up to go fuck shit up.
He's got, like, angry, punchy blue balls.
Yeah, kind of. Like, and it looks like he's got some dad strength that he's just ready to fucking wail on some fuckers.
Oh, yeah, and then he... Yeah, because after he goes in the house, he punches that brick wall, and then you see his knuckles with a couple little scratches on them. I'm like, have you ever punched a fucking brick wall? That shit fucks you up.
Hey, man, that guy's in the CIA. They probably teach you how to punch walls.
Oh, that's true. He might have steel beneath his knuckles.
But yeah, then he starts... Yeah, then what happens? The kids crash the car next to the bus. The most random thing ever.
Bus, which I actually thought was hilarious when they're like... They crash the car, and then a bus is there, and they're like, a bus! Like, it saved them. I thought that was pretty funny.
And they're just going to leave the fucking car there.
They're rich fucking... what do you call it? Rich obshack Russians.
Obshacks.
They have ties into that, like,
the mob
endless money type thing. Which isn't really endless money. They say it's like hundreds of millions. So it's a lot.
Yeah. Seems like a bit of scratch.
It's not crazy.
Yeah. They're not like Bond villain rich.
Right.
Yeah. They're just like regular.
It's not a fucking giant room of gold bars.
Oh man, that would be sweet.
But then he couldn't burn it down. Although if he had maybe in his basement that apparently can heat up whatever he says twice enough to burn the remains of human bodies.
Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, and he's got that panic room in the basement and stuff too. It's like he was ready for like...
Sort of. There's a panic door. I mean, we don't know what's down there. I'm sure he has cooler things, but that's something they could have added to the movie too. Show a cool panic room. All he does is slide a steel door closed.
Yeah.
You don't really see what's in the basement.
There's probably some shit down there. He's got to have like...
shown.
He's got to have like some... There's always like one of those guys open up like they have like a secret hidden like
guns.
Yeah, they got like a bunch of guns or like fake passports and money and like, you know, like some like...
So yeah, you know, in that scene, the Russian guy tells his crew to go get him, bring him back alive. So why are they running in there with fucking shooting...
Oh, yeah.
Assault rifles.
What the fuck did I just say? Oh, yeah, they run in there guns a-blazing.
Yeah.
Oh, and he fucks them up, too. That's
Yes.
obviously it does. Like, so, yeah, so then, obviously, that's basically the whole fucking plot is just him. Like, they're out to get him, and he's got to fend them off. Like, pretty much all of John Wick.
Because the kid on the bus was the brother of this Russian monster type guy who controls the Ob Shack money.
Yeah, so he's
mad that his brother
is drinking from a straw because he got fucking
fucked. He dies. Up. Yeah, his brother ends up dying.
No, he doesn't die.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, he does end up dying. That's right. But he goes and sees them at the hospital.
Like later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, is that justification for? I mean, I guess it's like get this guy back. But after Bob Odenkirk kills 20 of their people.
Yeah, they're like, okay, now it's on.
Just give up.
Yeah, like, okay, this guy's clearly gonna murder us.
He didn't even like his brother.
Yeah,
he mentioned that.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even care. Yeah, I mean, it's a pride thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe I don't know. Like,
and then yeah, they send people to home. Then after that, is that when he goes and like burns all the money?
Yeah, I think so. He goes. There's a few scenes in between where you kind of get the side characters where like he goes and visits his dad, Christopher Lloyd, and you know that he's like an ex-CIA agent too, like
something
because they talk about the old
that
days.
Scene, though,
that was cool
when the people come to kill Christopher Lloyd and he like blasts them with shotguns.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then like you see he has the picture of him and his brother, and he's talking to RZA through the radio for some reason, which I thought that was cool. Like it was weird, but I was like.
It was weird. I mean, maybe I don't understand it, but he turns the radio on to talk to his brother.
I mean, it's a ham radio.
And it's him, like, playing the sax or the trumpet or something. I can't remember. But then Bob Odenkirk's like, oh, hey, RZA, whatever. He's like, oh, how long have you been listening? So does he just sit beside the radio?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Just jamming away.
And he can just tune in whenever he wants to talk to his brother?
I don't know. Maybe it's ham radio. Maybe he's just jamming away and he's like, whoever wants to tune in and listen can, you know?
But that's probably why there's got to be a sequel, because they don't really go into his brother's character, RZA's character, at all.
They just show a picture of him, and like, obviously, it's got to be him as a kid, right? Because there's one white son and one black son, and I'm assuming that RZA's his brother, right?
Yeah.
And like...
So there's going to be some backstory there.
Yeah, right?
Maybe they're just doing another movie.
Maybe, yeah, they're probably all like I don't really remember what happens in John Wick.
Maybe they're robot.
I don't really remember what happens in John Wick.
Secret government project. Christopher Lloyd has little robot sons. It's like Spy Kids.
Another one, Spy Kids 3D.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, they took advantage.
Yeah, they took advantage of that. There you go. Just dropping that one in there.
I saw that movie in theaters.
Oh, did you? Oh no.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, didn't they hit puberty at that point and it was just weird, like the two kids? Like,
yeah, it was weird.
It was weird, yeah. Kind of like that movie with Haley Joel Osment, Secondhand Lions.
What the hell is that movie?
Okay, so they started shooting this movie when Haley Joel Osment was tiny Haley Joel Osment, you know, from like AI or whatever. I think it was right after AI they started shooting it. Mm-hmm. And they started shooting when he was a little boy, and then obviously he hit puberty while they were shooting, and he kind of just like, oh, and obviously became the Haley Joel Osment that we know and love today.
True.
But
that happens in Harry Potter as well.
Really?
Yeah. At the beginning, he's got this like high pitched voice. And then you can hear his voice change.
Oh, Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear his voice change, like, in the scene. Because it's when he's getting all the letters or whatever. Do you remember the movie? Like, how long ago did you see the movie?
Oh, fuck. We're looking at, years.
So he's got this letter to Hogwarts.
Was he just like, Langavia Leviosa? Langavia Leviosa?
Yeah, pretty much. No, he's like... all these letters fly out of the fucking fireplace and shit, and he's trying to grab one, and he's yelling, and you can hear him yell in like high pitch, and then it like cuts and all of a sudden he's like, no, yelling in this like low voice. You can like see the change, yeah.
He's like going through puberty though. That's so sad. Like going through puberty and like through those movies, like or even just as the character.
I don't know if I would call it sad.
No, not sad. Sorry, that's not the word I was looking for. But like, it's just like I don't know. Like I just think it's like weird. Like that you're growing up in front of these people and stuff. Like
yeah, I guess I don't know. Like weird for them or weird for us?
Weird for them. It's gotta be right. Like
yeah. But so one of the genius behind Chris Columbus's casting is that he like picked 4 kids. Did extensive casting, picked 4 kids that he would
know that they were gonna continue.
Knew or like had a good idea that they were not gonna be shitheads because he's got to work with kids for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Kids that are going to
because there's like 10 of those movies.
You know, yeah, exactly, right. Well, yeah, there are like close to that, but yeah, I think there's 8, but
and that's not counting the Redmond.
And they all those kids did like you know they all had like kind of clean professional lives.
Harry, you have to save the world. Oh, I got back knee and I'm tired. I don't want to do this.
Guess we'll go back to this movie.
Not for kids. Yeah, then he heads on over to his little warehouse thing. Yeah. Him and Christopher Lloyd and RZA.
Oh wait! I want to talk about they go to the Obshak headquarters. So one of his ways to like get back at the guy is he goes to the Obshak headquarters and burns all the money, and he takes Van Gogh's bedroom painting.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which I liked that it was there, but I mean that painting is worth more than all the money in there. So
that's why I did it.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Like how much is
I don't think it's worth as much as like what was in there. So they're worth a lot, but I don't.
An original Van Gogh painting.
I don't think it was worth like it's not worth like the almost billions of dollars.
Why not?
Because I don't
say the Mona Lisa's priceless,
But I mean, if you really had to put a price on it, I'm sure you could.
Yeah, but what would it be? Not $1 billion? I think it probably would.
Well, I think a lot of like art stuff. It's funny that you mentioned.
It's Van Gogh though. How many Van Gogh doesn't have an incredible amount of paintings, right?
I don't think so, but I think like some of his like I wonder what like a Van Gogh painting would go for because I have seen like
and it's only black market, right? Like you can't buy a Van Gogh painting.
No,
because it's
all museum shit. Right?
Belongs in a museum,
or like Dr. Jones would say.
Dr. Jones would say,
it belongs in a museum.
Well, yeah. I mean, how much would a super billionaire criminal guy pay for it?
I mean, depending on how much money, like I mean, depending what the market value is, right? Because they kind of just make up these values. Because that was like
so what happens with the painting in the end? He
probably took it to sell it, or maybe he wanted it. I don't know.
Because they do show they're buying like a nice house, which isn't like a crazy house, but it looks like they have money at the end.
Well, he has money to begin with because he's offering up
government, right?
Yeah, but he's also offering up money to buy the place that he's working at. I can't remember his fucking factory.
Oh yeah, because the gold.
Yeah.
Right. He has all that gold.
Yeah. And he's like he's offering his father-in-law all the money. He's like,
yeah,
because that's his father-in-law.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'll give you this much money for it, whatever. And it's like $900,000 or something like that. So he's got money. Like he's.
So what happens to the painting? I guess maybe they do something in a sequel, but
I don't know. Maybe
nothing. He gets blood on it. He could fucking ruin it. This is a priceless fucking.
Maybe it's hanging up in his garage.
Maybe. I was kind of pissed off when he got blood on it, though.
You ruined it!
Yeah, you can very easily ruin it.
But maybe that's a setup for sequel. Maybe that's just a bunch of scenes that they just cut out because they were like, fuck it. Like, because like you said, it runs really short and it goes point A, point B, point C, point D, over.
Right.
And maybe they were just like, that's too much pithy, like, banter in the middle. Like, let's just get rid of it.
They just want action.
Yeah, and that's what
they're giving. Film enough action, maybe. So
yeah.
They're like, let's cut out all the boring story stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's talk about the warehouse thing you mentioned.
Yeah.
They go back to the warehouse that he bought, and we see something that we've seen before in this podcast series.
A la Home Alone.
Yeah, when we watch Becky, he sets up all these traps.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think about those?
I mean, that one was really obvious to me. Like, it was so funny. I was like, okay, obviously he's luring these motherfuckers back here. And he's like, and he has everything set up.
Did you laugh when he was driving backwards, lying down?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, God. When they get to the factory, the Russians guys are all like, oh, we got him now. And I just wanted that, like, the Home Alone music, like, like them running through there.
Like, yeah, it was kind of fun to watch. It was mostly ridiculous. especially when they rig a bullet to a door.
Oh,
And he has
God.
this mechanism where the guy opens the door and the bullet fires. He's standing on the other side with a gun.
Yeah.
Why does he have
Why
to
don't you
rig
shoot
a gun?
him?
Yeah.
Shoot him.
It's so
The
stupid.
Sid's done. It's over.
But I do like, there's a couple fun things in there that, like, when the guy, like, shoots all three guys in a
Oh, yeah.
that had lined up.
The thing,
somehow.
that made me think of The Office. And Dwight's lining them all up. He's
Yeah.
like, easy. He's like, one, boom, boom.
Yeah. And then you saw the after credit scene, right?
There's an after credit scene?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I did not.
So there's not much to it. It's just Christopher Lloyd and RZA driving in a van somewhere with a whole bunch of guns. This is why I brought it up, because I liked it. It's kind of funny. RZA's just saying, he's like, yeah, the three of them lined it up and I shot them all with one bullet, I swear. Chris was like, nah, no, you
Oh,
didn't.
man, that would have been so funny.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm pissed I missed that.
And it also helps, like, take some of the, like, silliness out of it,
Yeah.
those moments help. So it's kind of weird that it's an after credit scene, but I guess that means sequel, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're definitely setting it up.
And Odenkirk picks up the phone, right? When
Yeah.
they're looking at the house. Like, he's got another job to do or some
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, yeah, like, it's never... You knew it was gonna end on... Like, movies like this, like, you almost expect a sequel. Like, like, if they don't set it up,
Yeah.
you're kind of just, like, stupid. Like, why, like...
I could see a movie like that. Like, I went in not knowing much about it other than seeing all the advertisements. But I could see this being a one-and-done movie. I don't think so now that I know what it is and who made it and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, the idea is kind of a standalone idea.
I think that'd be something we could look back into, like, on a later episode. We should look and see, like, how well it really does. And, like, if, like...
I think it'll do fine. Yeah.
I think so?
I do. I think people will like it.
I feel it has that,
There weren't any huge problems, right?
No, and I think it's catered to a market of people that are gonna watch it. Like,
That's why I do kind of recommend this movie, because it's like, you can have like a turn off your brain, action, shoot 'em up, put it on hour and a half, rather than like...
Yeah, something easy that if you're like, if you're just like you want to watch something like mind-numbing and you don't have to pay attention to, really.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd say fucking fire it on. Like, it's got some cool fight scenes if you're
Other
into
than
that.
that, there's not that much substance to it.
No, you're not getting, it's not fucking Jane Eyre. Like, you're not,
No.
I don't know why I said Jane Eyre. I was thinking of fucking like
Eyre?
Pride and Prejudice. Like, you're not watching like something like that, right? I was trying to think of a period piece movie. Like,
Right.
it was like,
Right.
snow falling on cedars,
Yeah. How I was gonna sum this movie up in overall would be pointless, pretty much.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have a point.
Yeah,
it's just
action, shooting some bad guys.
Yeah, and and sometimes that's what people want,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't fault them for
Which
that.
is fine.
Yeah,
The one thing I got to like nod to or respect in these movies is like choreography.
Choreography,
'Cause
yes.
they always do, and they do that with this. There's some fun things like
the guy who I remember, I could be wrong on this. The guy who did the choreography for John Wick, it's Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat, the original one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the guy who does all the choreography.
Probably the same guy.
It is the same guy probably, because
Right.
he did all Keanu Reeves is like he trained Keanu Reeves and also Charlize Theron when she did Atomic Blonde.
Oh,
They trained
okay.
at the same time. He's like some
Right.
huge martial art guy, yeah. Which he's good in the first Mortal Kombat movie. That's pretty much the only thing he's ever in, really. And then he's just a stunt guy after that.
True.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else to say about Nobody?
I mean, I'm not saying everybody should check it out. Ooh. But
Oh, God.
a boom. But yeah, like if you like these kind of movies, go for it. It's a good popcorn flick as well. Call
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
Shoot 'em up popcorn flick.
Right.
But I mean, I would kind of tend to go to more like if I want movies like that, I kind of look to more 90s movies, and that's kind of what this reminds me of a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you're right,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, like big premise type.
Yeah, or like high-end action
Kind of
movies.
like how the Kingsman did. Like they kind of brought that idea back.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like over the top spy stories.
Yeah, and I like those kind of movies too. Like some of I miss some of the 90s action movies that we had.
Yeah, I think we don't have that anymore, that like ridiculousness
Yeah.
that we love, but I guess they had decided at some point that they wanted to make action movies maybe more believable or serious or something.
Yeah, like I think it started when they started doing like a lot of like the Bourne franchises and like
that is probably the shift, the Bourne.
Yeah,
because before that you had like The Rock and stuff. Where
where it's just nonsensical violence.
And there's fucking new, like, biological warfare and shit.
Yeah,
like,
that plot is the funniest one because that movie starts out with Ed Harris just like, we're just here to nuke San Francisco. And you're like, why? He's like, I don't know, we were mistreated. That's basically the whole thing. Yeah. Like, that's the only reason they're there.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously the plot is, like, they're sneaking back into Alcatraz, obviously. Spoiler if you haven't fucking seen The Rock.
Don't they want, like, $24 million?
Yeah, they want some, like, ridiculous, like...
Well, it's not even ridiculous.
No, but it's, like, a very specific number.
Yeah, because it's for each person gets $1 million.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't remember that. But I remember hearing the number, and I was like, why haven't you just ask for, like, an even... Like, that weird... I was like, what? Yeah. You know, it's people like, I want $6 million.
But then the people... the terrorists, they just want to blow it up.
Yeah, because they're like shell-shocked, like army veterans. Yeah. And they're just like PTSD guys, right? Yeah. They're like, oh, we were mistreated. Yeah. Yeah, but you're right though. Like they don't make movies like action movies like that up until these ones, really. This is kind of starting that again.
Bringing it back.
Yeah, which I'm all for. Like
Kingsman more so because it's a little. That's more ridiculous. That's more of a Bond.
Yeah, and that one's kind of based on a comic, right? So that
was it.
Yeah, it's based on a comic series.
So that makes sense. But yeah, they have this. I'd say this is lighter. Nobody, of course. Like it's not too out there. Like John Wick's even more out there because it's got this like secret society thing.
Yeah, and John Wick's more over the top than this. Definitely. I found this one to be a bit more believable. Not to say that it is believable, but I would say it's more believable than John Wick. Like if.
Yeah.
You know,
I would not call this believable at all.
I know, yeah. But more believable than...
There's no fucking... I don't care what anyone tells me. There's no fucking one guy that used to work for the military that can go fucking fuck up 100.
Oh, yeah. It's not going to happen.
I don't know.
No, maybe Jean-Claude Van Damme. Maybe. Or Steven Seagal. Oh, he's so fat now. But yeah, no, like, I'd like to see more, like, action, like, 90s style stuff like that, yeah, because, like, those are movies I grew up with, like, on TBS and stuff, like,
yeah, I
love those fucking movies.
Yeah.
Like, the old 90s, like...
That's true.
Even, like, even the crime and drama ones, too, that were so good, like, I watched it, like, 2 or 3 years ago, and I forgot how much I liked it. The one with Robert De Niro and Pacino.
Heat?
Heat, yeah. Oh, right. God, I love that movie.
Yeah. Michael Mann.
Yeah, Michael Mann, yeah. Oh, great flick, yeah. Shit like that, they don't make these kind of movies anymore, like the gritty, like, crime, action drama, like, you know.
True, yeah, I can't really...
Darker, even movies like, you know, like The Pelican Brief, like The Bone Collector, those movies, like, you know, they're really dark and stuff, and, like, I don't know, it's just weird, I don't see that anymore in movies, it's, like, it doesn't have that edge for me.
It's good.
And these kind of, like, crime, drama, action.
Because it's all... You know, Star Wars and Marvel, you know.
And it's all CG shit now.
Yeah. Like, those action movies are big budget movies. So I feel like if they're going to make a big budget movie, they're making, you know. Yeah,
a Marvel movie.
A superhero movie.
Yeah, something that puts butts in the seats, right? Something that, like, you know,
yeah,
makes their money back.
That's such a, like, sports commentator phrase. Like, puts butts in the seats. Like,
well, I had a friend who said that to me, too. He was like, we were talking about Spider-Man 3, the one with Tobey Maguire. Where he does the stupid dance thing, the one with Venom in it. Venom wasn't supposed to be...
That's 3, yeah.
Yeah, Venom wasn't supposed to originally be in that movie. Sam Raimi didn't want him in that movie. Right. And the studio was like, no, you're putting Venom in it because it puts butts in the seats. And I was like, that is the perfect analogy of that. Throwing in that character because they're like, people are going to go see it now. That might even be a real big turn, actually, too, around that movie, too, when we started seeing more of these, like, we're just going to do it because we can kind of thing, you know? Because then we got those other shitty Spider-Man movies and, like, you know, everything's extra after that point, you know? It's like how much epic shit, you know? And we started seeing around that time frame, too. I think we saw a lot of those, like, do you remember those, like, those rom-com movies where they'd have, like, 50 celebrities in them?
Oh,
it was around that time frame, like the late 2010s. Yeah, there was
actually.
Yeah, or, like, there's one with, like, Justin Long in it, too. And then there was another one. I remember there was a period in that time, and they were, like, every other couple months. True. Like, there was... And those were fucking awful.
Yeah, where's the movie industry going now? It's kind of hard to say. They're making a lot of, like, sci-fi.
Sci-fi is kind of the way it's going now, which I'm all for, really.
Yeah.
They're kind of stemming away from the action movies. They're still obviously making Dredge, like, you know, like Fast and Furious movies. There's more of those coming out.
We're still in the remake, sort of.
There's a lot of remakes coming out.
Yeah.
Like from what I can see, like there's nothing really original as much anymore. You know,
though we've had a few like Sound of Metal.
Oh yeah, like the Oscar movies, yeah. But like for blockbusters, we're not really getting
right.
Like I can't remember the last blockbuster I've seen that I was like, okay, that was fuck. It's probably a Nolan movie if I had to pick one.
I think Knives Out would be one.
I would give Knives Out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't love it, but I liked that it was.
I really like Knives. I really like that one.
It's okay. The problem with that is like whodunit, or what do you call that? Like midnight theater type movie. Yeah. That story is just too old and
it's been done a million times.
So it's hard to, even though it's original, it's still kind of not.
Yeah.
So, but that was a huge movie, and it wasn't a superhero movie.
Also set up for a sequel as well.
Is it?
Yeah. Sets it up for a sequel at the end. I mean, I didn't have a problem with the first one, like you said, but I will agree with you on that aspect. That yes, when I did see it, I was like, I'm into this, but like I've seen this so many times.
It was like a nostalgic thing.
Yeah, like I do,
harkening back to like Murder on the
Orient Express is the one I was thinking
of. Shit like that,
or Clue,
or Clue.
Yeah, which I fucking love
Clue.
Yeah, you know, great Tim Curry. Who else is in that? Fucking. There's a few famous people in that.
I don't think I've seen Clue.
Oh, really? I think it's on Amazon if you want to check it out. Yeah, it's got Tim Curry. There's someone else. I want to say Rick Moranis, but I know that's not right.
Maybe it's Martin Short then.
I think that it's before Martin Short's time. It's Clue. I think it's like early 80s.
Fair enough.
So early to late 80s, I want to say. Still, yeah, decent whodunit. I think at the end they just show you, like, a la Clue, like, not to be a spoiler, but they just show every single person, a scenario where every single person did it. Kind of like they would in the game, like, kind of thing. It was like, it was me. Like, you know, they do Wayne's World, the alternate ending things? It's like that. They just show an ending of every single character who did it. So at the end, no one really did it. You don't know who did it.
Oh, okay. Well, that is a spoiler.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, sorry. You're like, you just ruined Clue for me.
Yeah, I was going to watch it. Now I'm not.
I ruined a board game movie for you. I'll ruin Battleship for you next.
All right, man. So I guess
I guess we're going to call that a wrap. And yeah, we'll see what is in store for next week. But
Nobody
cares.
cares.
Nobody cares.